Hi, Humanoid Gigabytes! I am Paulina Lara, Pauliphysics, and this week I bring you this. Every year, the fight for women's rights is commemorated. I received some greetings and messages, and I am thankful for them. Especially those of the Humanoid Gigabytes that seek to make this world a more equitable place and not just send flowers as if it was an extension of Valentine's Day. Recently on Facebook, some cartoons were published that seem to be a joke and have caused laughter among users of this social network. But wow! Imagine that this document is called The Good Wife's Guide. I'll leave you the link below so you can take a look at this ridiculous thing. Talking about equality between men and women is always complicated, because in the end it is clear that we're different in many ways. But something that nobody will be able to debate is that we are all human. That condition of thinking conscious beings who inhabit this space is what should be enough to respect us as equals and validate the thought, body, and essence of the other. Seeing women as participants in the economy and politics of societies is something that has changed over time. But this is relatively new and there is still much to be done. Just at the beginning of the 20th century, women began to complain about working conditions, and little by little they were heard. Another big victory of the suffragette movement was the right to vote. In Germany, they were given the vote in 1918. And interesting things happened in Mexico. In 1947, the right of Mexican women to vote and be voted for was granted, but only in municipal elections. It was not until 1953 that they were finally given the national vote. "1975 was International Women's Year. It was precisely in Mexico City where 133 governments met and 6,000 participants of no-governmental organizations made an alternative forum as well. The idea was to create the guidelines for the advancement of women in the next decade. That year was when the official day was declared, so that this fight for equality will be remembered every 8th of March. When you visit the United Nations website, you can learn more about all international treaties and commitments that have been made between countries to achieve this gender balance. Many people will criticize that it has not yet been fully achieved, and they are right. There is still much work to be done to recognize and respect what in 1995 was promised by 185 governments in the Beijing Declaration. We want a world in which every woman and girl can choose their preferences, such as participating in politics, getting an education, having an income, and living in societies free of violence and discrimination. Yes, we have to continue working, starting in our homes, continuing with our roles at work, and gradually influencing even bigger groups so this may become an increasingly tangible reality. I trust in art to raise questions and the educational spaces that create critical minds to achieve it. Whether we are women or not, we have to make it possible that every girl, boy, woman, or man get closer to this world view. From this small channel, I joined the collective hug that many Humanoid Gigabytes of goodwill have sent to all the fighting women of this world. I also appreciate the privilege of having been educated in freedom, of always being able to do what I want, and of moving among circles of intelligent people who respect, value, and listen to everything that another human has to say, with or without boobs. I did not want to get super serious with the video, but there you have it. I shared a little why it is important to talk about Women's Day and not come up with nonsense like, "When is the day of the rhinoceros?" or "I hope to be congratulated when I wash the vegetables," or nothing like that. And of course, obviously, I had to publicly shame this Good Wife's Guide that has nothing to do with me or how Mr. Pauliphysics and I do things. So what do you think? Please let me know in the comments what are your opinions, share this video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it, and just share the love. I am Paulina Lara, Pauliphysics, and I see you next week.